We built a castle out of cardboard boxes in the yard and swore that we would guard it like a royal palace guard. We gathered plastic jewels and we placed them on our brow, believing we were monarchs who would never disavow the promises we whispered in the safety of the dark, before the glowing embers turned into a dangerous spark. You wore a golden circlet made of yellow painted wire, shining like a beacon by our little campfire. But sovereignty is heavy for a pair of fragile kids. We closed our eyes tightly underneath our heavy lids. The rain began to fall and made the cardboard turn to mud. The royal tapestry was washed away by a summer flood. Your coronet was twisted when you dropped it on the stone. And suddenly I realized that I was all alone. The kingdom that we fancied was a figment of deceit, as royalty lay bleeding on the cobblestone street. The throne is empty and the kingdom has completely fallen down. There is no ceremony left within this haunted town. We are just two beggars who are searching for a town. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. I see you walking nowadays without your royal stride. The majesty has vanished and you have nowhere to hide. Your shoulders are bent low beneath the weight of your regret, paying off a massive and an unforgiving debt. We thought we were superior to citizens below, but kings can also stumble when the heavy blizzards blow. The scepter that you carried is a broken piece of wood. You didn't rule the empire the way you said you would. The palace walls have crumbled into piles of grey debris. There is no royal navy sailing out upon the sea. We are just ordinary people, stripped of all our titles now, forced to face reality and make a final bow. The court jester is laughing at the tragedy we made, as all the vibrant colors of our coronation fade. A monarchy of madness built on shifting desert sand. We lost our total grip upon the promise of the land. The throne is empty and the kingdom has completely fallen down. There is no ceremony left within this haunted town. We are just two beggars who are searching for a town. We are wearing broken crowns made of vanity and pride, hiding all the secrets that we keep so deep inside. The gold is flaking off and showing rust beneath the gleam. We woke up from the nightmare of a majestic dream. Heavy is the head that wears a broken crown today. Oh yeah. Tear down the banner to extinguish all the flames. We are just commoners who played expensive games. You cannot rule a heart with an iron rusty fist. Our names were never written on the legendary list. Take off the jewelry, throw it in the dirt. No amount of royalty can insulate the hurt. Long live the king, that's what they used to sing, but it doesn't mean nothing. We are wearing broken crowns made wears a broken crown today. Drop the crown, watch it tumble down to the ground, to the ground. I shouted out your name into the canyon deep and wide, hoping for an answer from the solitary side. But the landscape was indifferent to the misery I felt, and the frosty mountain ridges refused to ever melt. The sound of my own voice came bouncing back into my ear, a mockery of passion that was twisted by my fear. You left without a warning on a Tuesday afternoon, leaving a vacant apartment that was cleared out way too soon. The tiles in the bathroom multiply the dripping faucet sound, the water repercussion while I stare up on the ground. Every statement that we made inside this residential space is bouncing off the plaster without leaving any trace. We used to fill the structure with our arguments and cheers, but the frequency is altered over consecutive years. Now the vibration is a hollow and a terrifying thing, like a broken copper bell that has forgotten how to ring. We build a sanctuary out of promises and stone, but the structural integrity has left us both alone. The cavities are wide and the foundations are insecure, and there is no remedy that can make this love endure. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noises staying loud. A ghostly congregation like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pains. I walked into the valley where we carved our monogram before the river flooded and destroyed the wooden dam. The gorge is full of boulders that have tumbled from the peak, crushing all the flowers that were delicate and weak. I spoke into the cavern just to test the acoustic grace, but the replication process was an absolute disgrace. It distorted all the meaning of the phrases that I chose, turning a confession into a parade of woes. The telephone is silent, but the static is alive, a technological reminder that our bond did not survive. I listened to old voicemails that you recorded on your device when your tone was full of honey before it turned to ice. The digital compression makes your laughter sound so strange, a robotic variation that emphasizes the change. I disconnect the line because the feedback is too intense, an auditory punishment that defies all common sense. We build a sanctuary out of promises and stone, but the structural integrity has left us both alone. The cavities are wide and the foundations are insecure, and there is no remedy that can make this love endure. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noises staying loud. A ghostly congregation like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pain. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Screaming louder, let it bounce against the granite wall. Watch the sonic wave expand before it starts to fall. You cannot fill a vacuum with a fabricated this relationship are dead, and I am drowning in the feedback of the things you said. Hello? Is anyone there? No. We are chasing hollow echoes in an empty corridor, listening for the footsteps that don't walk here anymore. The words have lost their substance, but the noises staying loud. A ghostly congregation like a solitary crowd. Yeah, the resonance remains, reminding us of pain. Echoes fade, debts unpaid. Silence. The television screen is displaying a snowy white glare, while I'm sitting frozen in the leather rocking chair. The broadcasting station went off the air at 3, leaving a frequency of pure white noise for me to see. I remember when our future was a high-definition view, vibrant and crystal clear when I was standing next to you. But the signal grew corrupted as the distance grew too wide, and the transmission failed from the emotional inside. I tried to tune the antenna to capture your frequency, but the feedback loop was brutal, and it blinded me to see. The cathode ray tube is buzzing with a low electricity hum, a technological desert that has made my fingers numb. We used to share a vision of a cottage by the stream, but that imagery has dissolved into a highly static dream, a scrambled manifestation of a hope we couldn't save, buried underneath the mountain of a broken wireless wave. The reception is poor and the satellites are down. There is no communication traveling across this town. We are trying to connect through a rusty copper wire, but the voltage is insufficient to ignite the inner fire. We are trapped in static dreams, waking up to white noise, losing all the innocence of our youthful boys and joys. The channel is scrambled and the screen is getting gray, washing all the clarity of our own life away. Yeah, the signal is dead, just like the love we fed. I found an old cassette tape underneath the car seat floor, containing all the melodies that we don't hum anymore. The magnetic ribbon is tangled in the plastic casing cracked, a physical example of the loyalty we lacked. I forced it into the player, but the audio was distorted. Every happy memory was violently aborted by the hiss and the crackle of a tape that has decayed, just like the fragile promises that we previously made. The telecommunication tower on the summit of the hill is struck by winter lightning while the atmosphere is chill. The grid is shutting down and the indicators flash red, a systematic failure of the narrative we let. I dial your telephone number, but the operator says the circuit is busy with the ghost of yesterdays. There is no data traveling across the fiber optic cable to fix the broken pieces of our metaphorical table. The reception is poor and the satellites are down. There is no communication traveling across this town. We are trying to connect through a rusted copper wire, but the voltage is insufficient to ignite the inner fire. We are trapped in static dreams, waking up to white noise, losing all the innocence of our youthful boys and joys. The channel is scrambled and the screen is getting gray, washing all the clarity of our own life away. Yeah, the signal is dead, just like the love we fed. digital road. The line is dead, nothing left ahead. We are trapped in static dreams, waking up to white noise, losing all the innocence of our youthful boys and joys. The channel is scrambled and the screen is getting gray, washing all the clarity of our old life away. Yeah, the signal is dead, just like the love we fed. Static noise, lost our poise, disconnected. The barometer dropped 10 points in less than an hour, as a low-pressure system stripped the bloom from the flower. I left the house with a light linen shirt on my back, completely unaware of the atmospheric attack. You were smiling at breakfast while you poured out the tea, discussing the weekend and the places we'd see. But a phone call arrived at 9:15, and a tectonic shift split your future from mine. There was no gradual fading or slow soft decay, no warning signs pointing to a departure day, just a sudden disclosure that you couldn't undo, a brutal correction to the narrative I knew. The locks were all altered by the time I returned, and the bridge we inhabited was completely burned. I am standing on the pavement in the blistering wind, mourning the ever that so abruptly had pinned. Oh, the weather forecast didn't mention this gale, and our navigational instruments completely failed. We transitioned from summer to an Arctic freeze, in the time it takes a branch to snap from the trees. We are reeling from the sudden change in the atmosphere, trying to make sense of the chaos that is happening here. The scenery transformed in the blink of an eye, leaving us stranded underneath the foreign sky. Yeah, the whiplash is violent, and the damage is done. Found your umbrella left behind in the hall, a solitary item leaning up against the wall. It was dry and compact, never seeing the storm that erupted inside where it used to be warm. I touched the curved handle, but the plastic is cold, a physical anchor to a story grown old. In a matter of minutes we became strangers again, erasing the progress of a decade or 10. The emergency sirens are echoing loud through the panic streets of the metropolitan crowd. They are clearing debris from the collapsed highway lane, a structural casualty of this sudden strain. I sit on a bench with my head in my hands, watching the ruin of our grandest plans, a permanent fracture in a flawless design that occurred without a signal or a warning sign. The weather forecast didn't mention this gale, and our navigational instruments completely failed. We transitioned from summer to an Arctic freeze, in the time it takes a branch to snap from the trees. We are reeling from the sudden change in the atmosphere, trying to make sense of the chaos that is happening here. The scenery transformed in the blink of an eye, leaving us stranded underneath a foreign sky. Yeah, the whiplash is violent, and the damage is done. Is completely erased, and the new reality cannot be faced. You cannot prepare for a bolt from the blue. when it splits you away from the person you knew. Snap, click, now it's different, gone. We are reeling from the sudden change in the atmosphere, trying to make sense of the chaos that is happening here. The scenery transformed in the blink of an eye, leaving us stranded underneath a foreign sky. Yeah, the whiplash is violent and the damage is done. Shifted ground, no more sound, a blaze, a blaze. The landlord gave us 30 days to vacate the address, a legal expiration of our domestic mess. The lease had expired and the renewal was denied, an external reflection of the vacancy inside. We packed our belongings into cardboard crates, accepting the reality of our separate fates. But every second passing felt like a heavy toll, an hourglass empty in the chambers of my soul. We watched the digital digits on the microwave clock, counting down the moments until the final shock. We were like tenants in a hotel room we didn't own, waiting for the bellhop to unplug the telephone. The furniture was ours, but the walls belonged to him, and the prospects of our future were looking rather dim. We tried to make a memory out of a remaining day, but the calendar was ruthless in taking it away. The interest is accumulating on the debt we owe, and there is no extension that the bankers will bestow. We are living on a currency we didn't earn or steal, and the bankruptcy of our romance is getting far too real. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken bricks. The loan has matured and the collectors are outside. There is no longer a place where our spirits can hide. Yeah, the deadline is coming and we cannot pay the price. I remember when we believed our resources were infinite. Every hour was a treasure and we spent every minute of it. We didn't check the ledger or calculate the cost, never imagining the magnitude of what we eventually lost. Now we are budgeting our syllables and measuring our strides like passengers on a vessel where the captain divides the remaining water rations among a desperate crew. A tragic situation for a person like you. I see the moving van parked along the curb below, a motorized chariot that is forcing us to go. The taillights are blinking in a rhythmic sort of threat, a visual punctuation of my absolute regret. You take the upper highway and I will take the coast, leaving behind the structure that we populated most. Our temporary lease on happiness has reached its final date, and there is no extension from the officials of fate. The interest is accumulating on the debt we owe, and there is no extension that the bankers will bestow. We are living on a currency we didn't earn or steal, and the bankruptcy of our romance is getting far too real. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken bricks. The loan has matured, the collectors are outside. There is no longer a place where our spirits can hide. Yeah, the deadline is coming countdown is at 0, and the buzzer starts to ring, ending the existence of our temporary thing. Tick tock, time's up. Drop the cup. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken bricks. The loan has matured and the collectors are outside. There is no longer a place where our spirits can hide. Yeah, the deadline is coming, and we cannot pay the price. No more days, parting ways, 0. We constructed a residence out of transparent sheets, overlooking the traffic of the municipal streets. We wanted the world to witness our architectural grace, believing we inhabited a flawless, immaculate space. There were no brick walls or curtains to hide the daily operations that occurred inside. But transparency is dangerous when you have secrets to keep, and structural integrity was incredibly cheap. You threw a heavy porcelain mug across the living room zone, and the impact shattered a structural silica cone. The spider web fracture expanded across the front wall, a terrifying indicator of our impending total fall. We are living in an environment where you shouldn't throw stones, but we are launching projectiles that are fracturing bones. The illusion of perfection is beginning to crack, and there is no glazier who can put the pieces back. The foundation is splintering under the acoustic strain, and the roof is leaking from the heavy summer rain. We are exposed to the elements and the public gaze, trapped inside a greenhouse of our departed days. We are shattering our glass houses into tiny shards today, watching our privacy wash completely away. The transparency we worship is the weapon of our doom, creating a display case out of a domestic room. Yeah, the fragments are sharp, and they are cut in the heart. I see the neighbors gathering along the pavement perimeter line, watching the spectacular destruction of your world and mine. We are a public exhibition, a free entertainment show for the curious citizens who live in the valley below. They watch you pack your suitcase through the transparent floor, and they witness my desperation as I stand by the door. There is no dignity left in this architectural mistake, just a pile of silica that we managed to break. I sweep up the remnants with a plastic bristle broom, but the splinters are scattered throughout every single room. They embed themselves deeply in the soles of my feet, a physical punishment that is thoroughly complete. We wanted to be honest, we wanted to be clear, but the exposure generated a paralyzing fear. We should have built with timber or solid granite block instead of this material that cannot handle the shock. The foundation is splintering under the acoustic strain, and the roof is leaking from the heavy summer rain. We are exposed to the elements in the public gaze, trapped inside a greenhouse of our departed days. We are shattering our glass houses into tiny shards today, watching our privacy wash completely away. The transparency we worship is the weapon of our doom, creating a display case out of a domestic room. Yeah, the fragments are sharp, and they are cutting the heart. direction if the honesty is dead. We don't require a shelter for the things we left unsaid. Let the shards tumble down like a crystalline shower, ending our residency at this final hour. Crack, snap, watch it fall, nothing. We are shattering our glass houses into tiny sheds today, watching our privacy wash completely away. The transparency we worship is the weapon of our doom, creating a display case out of a domestic room. Yeah, the fragments are sharp and they are cutting the heart. Silica dust, broken trust, clear, clear. I dipped the fountain pen into the bottle of black ink and sat beside the desk to give myself a chance to think. The envelope is addressed to your apartment on the hill, where the air is always biting and the wind is always chill. I struggled with the opening, the greeting felt so cold, a stark contrast to stories that we previously told. My handwriting is shaky and the sentences are brief, a summary of modern love collapsing into grief. You always loved the structure of a handwritten note, the texture of the parchment and the poetry I wrote. But this is not a ballad filled with compliments and praise. It's a declaration of the end of all our golden days. I explain the exact moment when the magic disappeared, the quiet realization of the outcome that we feared. No arguments or screaming matches, just a steady decline, a mutual understanding that your path was distinct from mine. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, a final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, a final explanation of the things we couldn't do. The ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. I walk down to the postbox at the corner of the square. The midnight fog is thick enough to choke the heavy air. I hold the envelope above the metal opening slightly, reviving every single word and every single thought. Once it drops inside the box, there is no turning back, no way to intercept the mail or alter up the track. It felt like dropping weights into a deep and dark abyss, a tragic conclusion to a love that started with a kiss. I imagine when you receive it on Tuesday afternoon, you slice the paper open with a silver butter spoon. Your eyes will scan the paragraphs I labored to construct, detailing how our paradise was suddenly destruct. Maybe a tear will fall and smudge the signature below, or maybe you'll be relieved to finally let it go. We carved our names in tree bark, but the wood began to rot, and this final correspondence is the only thing we got. The postage stamp is fixed upon the corner of the page, a final validation of our exit from the stage. We are signing off the ledger, closing up the heavy book without a single hesitation or a backward look. These are the last letters that I will ever send to you, fill the bag, let the postman do the chore, because we are not communicating anymore. Dear love, goodbye. Don't cry. I'll never send to you. These are the last letters. Explanation of the things we couldn't do. Oh, the ink is drying slowly, but the meaning is so clear. We ran out of sentences to keep each other near. Yeah, we spelled out our goodbye in a beautiful design. Postage paid, memories fade, signed. Signed. I stood upon the pier, watching the cargo vessels depart, with a heavy nautical compass navigating my heart. You boarded a cruise ship that was headed for the west, to seek a destination where your spirit could find rest. The gap between the hull and the timber grew wide as the vessel was captured by the incoming tide. Your white handkerchief was a speck in the gray before the ocean mist took the vision away. Now I am writing letters that will take weeks to arrive to an overseas address where you were trying to thrive. You send me postcards of palm trees and tropical sand, a stark contrast to this cold and muddy northern land. The geography is vast and the time zones don't align. When it is midnight in your world, it is morning in mine. We are trying to maintain a thread across the sea, but the distance is eroding our common history. The salt water is heating up the cables of our love, and the communication satellites are failing up above. We are two separate islands in infinite blue, losing all the coordinates that connected me to you. We are standing on distant shores, looking out at the main, divided by an ocean of geography and pain. The horizon is a barrier that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep and the promises are hard to keep. I check the maritime tracking application on my device to see a vessel navigating through the northern ice. You were thousands of nautical miles from this room, living in a climate where different flowers bloom. I wonder if the ocean air has altered your voice, or if your relocation was a permanent choice. I look at the map on my living room wall, realizing that my world is incredibly small. The lighthouse on the cliff throws a rotating beam, an artificial guide for a sailor's broken dream, but it cannot illuminate the space between our souls or repair the damage of our conflicting goals. You are chasing a career in a metropolitan state, while I am stuck here bargaining with provincial fate. The continental shelf is a physical divide that mirrors the alienation that we cultivate inside. The salt water is eating at the cables of our love, and the communication satellites are failing up above. We are two separate islands in infinite blue, losing all the coordinates that of geography and pain. The horizon is a barrier that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep, and the promises are hard to keep. Swim across the channel, navigate the stormy strait, do something to challenge the maritime fate. But the current is too strong and the distance is too vast, and our physical endurance is failing us at last. So we stand on the beaches at opposite ends of the earth, mourning the relationship that gave us our worth. Lost at sea, you and me, and we are standing on distant shores, looking out at the main, divided by an ocean of geography and pain. The horizon is a barrier that we cannot cross today, washing all the closeness of our previous life away. Yeah, the water is deep, and the promises are hard to keep. Tides roll, vast soul, afloat, afloat. I stood upon the pier, watching the cargo vessels depart, with a heavy nautical compass navigating my heart. You boarded a cruise ship that was headed for the west, to seek a destination where your spirit could find rest. The gap between the hull and the timber grew wide as the vessel was captured by the incoming tide. Your white handkerchief was a speck in the gray before the ocean mist took the vision away. Now I am writing letters that would take weeks to arrive to an overseas address where you were trying to thrive. You sent me postcards of palm trees and tropical sand, a stark contrast to this cold and muddy northern land. The geography is vast and the time zones don't align. When it is midnight in your world, it is morning in mine. We are trying to maintain a thread across the sea, but the distance is eroding our common history. The salt water is eating up the cables of our love, and the communication satellites are failing up above. We are two separate islands in the infinite blue, losing all the coordinates that connected me to you. We are standing on distant shores, looking out. You held a camel hairbrush and a palette full of gold, creating a landscape that was wondrous to behold. You brushed away the blemishes, the anger and the grease, replacing all our arguments with images of peace. I stood behind your easel in the chilly basement flat, admiring how you hid the stains upon the welcome mat. We manufactured happiness with pigment and with oil to cover up the toxicity inside our native soil. The canvas was a barrier against the outside storm, where we pretended everything was cozy, safe and warm. You drew a perfect family beside a roaring fire, concealing all the boundaries of your unfulfilled desire. But varnish cannot stabilize a structural decay, and turpentine will dissolve the finest display. The portrait started cracking when the humidity arose, exposing all the misery under your graceful pose. The pigment is peeling from the fabric of our trust, and all your golden highlights are transforming into rust. We spend our energy on making the illusions look so bright, instead of fixing problems in the middle of the night. We are staring at these painted lies, hanging on the frame, hiding all the ugliness that we refuse to name. The colors are bleeding and the perspective is wrong. We lived inside an artwork that didn't belong. Yeah, the masterpiece is ruined and the illusion is gone. I found your old sketchbooks in a wooden storage chest, containing all the charcoal drawings you had suppressed. The raw sketches revealed a very different state of mind, a darker narrative that you had purposefully aligned. There were no happy meadows or a shining sunny beach, just desperate figures reaching out for things beyond their reach. I realized then that honesty was something you eschewed, preferring a depiction that was elegantly glued. I walk around the gallery of our departed years and notice how the watercolor matches with my tears. The exhibition is closed now, but the inventory stays, a catalog of falsity that occupied our days. You were a clever artist, but you couldn't paint a heart that stayed together when the reality tore it apart. The frame is splintering under the atmospheric weight, a tragic exhibition of our artificial fate. The pigment is peeling from the fabric of our trust, and all your golden highlights are transforming into rust. We spend our energy on making the illusions look so bright, instead of fixing problems in the middle of the night. We are staring at these painted lies, hanging on the frame, hiding all the ugliness that we refuse to name. The colors are bleeding and the perspective is wrong. We lived inside an artwork that didn't belong. Yeah, the masterpiece is ruined and the illusion is gone. Smear the acrylics, slice the linen cloth in two. There is no longer a requirement to paint a picture of you. The gallery is empty and the patrons have all fled. We are just two models whose relationship is dead. Throw away the brushes, spill the solvent on the floor, because we are not posing for each other anymore. Strip the paint, see the scar. Who we are, we are staring at these painted lies, hanging on the frame, hiding all the ugliness that we refuse to name. The colors are bleeding and the perspective is wrong. We lived inside an artwork that didn't belong. Yeah, the masterpiece is ruined and the illusion is gone. Fading shades, beauty fades, blank. mom sits upon the dusty wooden shelf, a portrait of a boy who looks a bit like myself, beside a girl with the ribbons in her tangled golden hair, sitting on a blanket in the middle of the square. The colors have all shifted into shades of pale and gray, like chemical reactions washing memories away. I trace the silver outline of your unforgettable face, stuck inside a pocket of a long forgotten place. The Polaroid camera made a clicking sort of noise back when we were playing with our favorite childhood toys. We waited for the image to develop in the sun, counting all the seconds until everything was done. The chemical solution captured moments in a flash before our little kingdom came to crumble in a crash. Now look at how the edges are beginning to unglue, just like the connection that I shared along with you. The lens was cracked, but we could see the future pretty clear. We didn't know the definition of a sudden fear, but exposure to the sunlight makes the image disappear. Look at these faded photos hanging on the bedroom wall, reminding us of times before we learned how we could fall. The smiles are getting blurry and the background starts to bleed. We lost the very map that we so desperately need. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay. I found another snapshot in the pocket of my coat, wrapped around a tiny and a handwritten short note. You said you would love me till the oceans all went dry, but oceans turned to deserts and the clouds deserted sky. The camera never lies, but it omits the painful part. It doesn't show the cracking of a heavy human heart. It only shows the laughter and the sunshine on the beach, while keeping all the misery far out of human reach. I try to remember what you said right before the click. The memory is playing like a cruel and wicked trick. The audio is missing, though the visual remains a gallery of pleasure that is shielding all the pains. The chemical emotion is decaying on the sheet, while I am walking lonely down the suffocating street. If I could take another shot, I'd change the focal length to see if our relationship possessed a greater strength. The lens was cracked, but we could see the future pretty clear. We didn't know the definition of a sudden fear, but exposure to the sunlight makes the image disappear. Look at these faded photos hanging on the bedroom wall, reminding us of times before we learned how we could fall. The smiles are getting blurry and the background starts to bleed. We lost the very map that we so desperately need. Yeah, the pictures fade away, but the shadows always stay. Freeze the frame, hold your breath, don't you dare to move. We have so many arguments we tried so hard to prove, but a photograph is static, it can never change its mind, leaving all the explanations somewhere far behind. Shake the picture, wait for light, hope it turns out fine, but you cannot rewrite the script of your life and mine. Just a ghost in a frame. I barely know your name. Look at these faded photos shadows always stay fading out without a doubt. Click. We sat upon the wooden fence behind the ancient barn, watching farmers bundle up the yellow spinning yarn. The horizon was a canvas filled with amber and apricot hue, reflecting in the drops of fresh and early evening dew. You wore a denim jacket that was frayed around the sleeve, creating a sanctuary where we both could just believe the world was spinning slower for a moment in the sun before the modern complications had officially begun. The radio was playing a forgotten country tune while we anticipated the appearance of the moon. You stretched your fingers out to catch the filtering light that separated afternoon from the approaching night. We possessed no silver coins or diamonds in our vest, but looking at your expression, I felt thoroughly blessed. The shadows elongated as they stretched across the field, revealing every secret that our modesty concealed. The twilight was a curtain dropping gently on our play, a beautiful conclusion to an ordinary day. We thought the warmth would linger when the dark began to bite, never expecting the arrival of a freezing winter night. Oh, we were living in the golden hours, bathing in the glow, before the icy rivers of reality began to flow. The sunshine was a currency we spent without a care, but now the sky is empty and the branches are all bare. Yeah, the gold turned into lead, just like the words you said. I visit that old pasture when the autumn comes around, and watch the dead and foliage falling softly to the ground. The fences started rotting and the barn is falling down, an extension of the loneliness that paralyzes this town. The amber tint has vanished from the atmosphere above, leaving a monochromatic space devoid of any love. I check my wristwatch constantly to monitor the time, trying to recapture the rhythm of our youth sublime. You moved across the ocean to a city made of glass, where nobody remembers how the simple seasons pass. You chase a different fortune under artificial light, when neon signs illuminate the middle of the night. I wonder if your memory preserves that afternoon, or if the metropolitan pollution made you immune to the beauty of a sunset that required no display, except the simple magic of a day fading away. The twilight was a curtain dropping gently on our play, a beautiful conclusion to an ordinary day. We thought the warmth would linger when the dark began to bite, never expecting the arrival of a freezing winter night. Oh, we were living in the golden hours, bathing in the glow, before the icy rivers of reality began to flow. The sunshine was a currency we spent without a care, but now the sky is empty and the branches are all bare. Yeah, the gold turned into lead, just like the word you said. Hold the light, preserve the spark, don't let the sun go down. We are just two spectators watching our kingdom drown. The darkness is the ocean that is swallowing the shore, and we won't feel that specific warmth inside our bodies anymore. The spectrum is shifting from the orange to the blue, and there is nothing I can do to stay with you. Sun sink, eyes blink, darkness, 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 darkness. Oh, we were living in the golden hours, bathing in the glow before the icy rivers of reality began to flow. The sunshine was a currency we spent without a care, but now the sky is empty and the branches are all bare. Yeah, the gold turned into lead, just like the words you said. Golden glow, let it go. Dusk. The landlord gave us 30 days to vacate the address, a legal expiration of our domestic mess. The lease had expired and the renewal was denied, an external reflection of the vacancy inside. We packed our belongings into cardboard crates, accepting the reality of our separate fates. But every second passing felt like a heavy toll, an hourglass empty in the chambers of my soul. We watched the digital digits on the microwave clock, counting down the moments until the final shock. We were like tenants in a hotel room we didn't own, waiting for the bellhop to unplug the telephone. The furniture was ours, but the walls belonged to him, and the prospects of our future were looking rather dim. We tried to make a memory out of a remaining day, but the calendar was ruthless in taking it away. The interest is accumulating on the debt we owe, and there is no extension that the bankers will bestow. We are living on a currency we didn't earn or steal, and the bankruptcy of our romance is getting far too real. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken bricks. The loan has matured and the collectors are outside. There is no longer a place where our spirits can hide. Yeah, the deadline is coming, and we cannot pay the price. I remember when we believed our resources were infinite. Every hour was a treasure, and we spent every minute of it. We didn't check the ledger or calculate the cost, never imagining the magnitude of what we eventually lost. Now we are budgeting our syllables and measuring our strides like passengers on a vessel where the captain devised the remaining water rations among a desperate crew. A tragic situation for a person like you. I see the moving van parked along the curb below, a motorized chariot that is forcing us to go. The tail lights are blinking in a rhythmic sort of thread, a visual punctuation of my absolute regret. You take the upper highway and I will take the coast, leaving behind the structure that we populated most. Our temporary lease on happiness has reached its final date, and there is no extension from the officials of fate. The interest is accumulating on the debt we owe, and there is no extension that the bankers will bestow. We are living on a currency we didn't earn or steal, and the bankruptcy of our romance is getting far too real. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken countdown is at 0, and the buzzer starts to ring, ending the existence of our temporary thing. Tick tock, time's up, drop the cup. We are surviving on borrowed time, counting down the ticks, trying to assemble a house from broken bricks. The loan has matured and the collectors are outside. There is no longer a place where our spirits can hide. Yeah, the deadline is coming, and we cannot pay the price.